All right, let's talk about something that kind of goes against the grain in the business world. Does it actually pay to be a good company? Today, we're going to cut through all the corporate fluff and dig into the hard data that shows this surprising and honestly powerful link between having integrity and long-term financial success.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we're going to tackle a huge business myth you hear all the time. Then we'll get into the numbers that really flip that idea on its head. After that, we'll unpack how this actually works, hear from some top leaders who live by this, and finally, we'll wrap it up by looking at how integrity can be your company's secret weapon.
Okay, so let's dive right in with an idea that you've probably heard before, right? Especially when the economy gets a little shaky or a crisis hits. It's this belief that being ethical is, well, it's a luxury, something that might even cost you money in the short term. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The folks at Ethisphere, who are experts in this stuff, hear this constantly. It perfectly captures this idea that integrity is a nice to have that you just put on the back burner when things get tough. The whole assumption is that you have to choose your values or your profits. And that really brings us to a huge question for anyone in business. Is integrity really just something you can afford when times are good? Or is that view a massive strategic mistake that could actually hurt your company in the long run? All right, so let's put that myth to the test. Because when we actually look at the data, the story completely changes. We're moving past feelings and opinions here. We're talking about cold, hard numbers and real financial performance. So there's this group, Ethisphere, and they track this really cool metric called the ethics premium. Here's how it works. They take the stock performance of the most ethical public companies in the world, and they stack them up against a benchmark of other big, similar companies. And the really important part? They look at this over a 5-year stretch, so we're not just talking about a flash in the pan. This is about long-term, real value. So what did they find? Well, the results are kind of mind-blowing, and it's super consistent. For more than 10 years, these companies with high integrity have always done better than the market. I mean, not a single year where they fell behind. This isn't just a fluke, you guys. It's a clear, powerful pattern. Just look at 2022 to see how powerful this really is. That 5-year premium, it hit a whopping 24.6%. Think about that for a second. These companies didn't just edge out the competition, they absolutely crushed it. It's proof that a real commitment to doing things right isn't a drag on performance. It's like rocket fuel. Okay, so the big question is, how? How does this even work? The numbers are one thing, but what's the engine behind them? How does something that sounds as soft as integrity actually turn into cold, hard cash on the balance sheet? Well, it turns out it's this awesome, virtuous cycle. First, when you have a strong ethical culture, you attract and hold on to the best talent. Then, those amazing employees build deep, real trust with your customers, which creates incredible loyalty. That, in turn, lowers your risks, fewer scandals, fewer fines. And all of that, the stability, the growth, makes the company a magnet for serious long-term investors. And it all starts with your people. Think about this. Almost 80% of employees say a company's focus on ethics is a huge reason they decide to stay put. In a world where everyone's fighting for top talent, that's not just a small thing. Your culture is your secret weapon. And guess what? Happy, engaged employees lead to loyal customers. The data shows that 68% of us as consumers actually care about ethics when we're deciding what to buy. For a brand like Patagonia, that focus has boosted loyalty by a crazy 35%. That's how you build a rock-solid, growing base of business. Okay, so this isn't just some academic theory or a bunch of numbers on a spreadsheet. This is the real-world playbook for leaders at some of the biggest, most successful companies out there. For them, ethics isn't just a department, it's the foundation of everything they do. Take the CEO of TIAA, a massive financial services company. She puts it perfectly. It's all about trust. She knows that trust isn't just a nice feeling, it's the actual product they're selling, and it's built by being transparent and accountable. And you hear the same thing from the CEO of Starbucks. He gives all the credit for their massive success to their 400,000 employees. He talks about having a purpose that's bigger than just making money, and that's what pulls in the amazing people who give you that great experience every morning. And this isn't just for coffee shops or financial giants. It works even in super competitive fields like banking. As one of only 5 banks in the world to get this recognition, their CEO doesn't just see banking as moving money around. He sees it as a force for good. That kind of reputation is priceless.
All right, we've looked at the myth, we've crunched the numbers, we've seen how it works, and we've heard from the leaders on the front lines. So let's boil this all down. What's the one big idea you should walk away with?
Look, the evidence is pretty hard to ignore. This whole idea that you have to pick between being ethical and being profitable, it's just not true. It's a false choice. The data shows that in the long run, they're not just compatible, they actually feed each other. So, at the end of the day, what all this shows is that integrity is way more than just a box to check for the legal department or a nice sentiment for the annual report. It's a real, measurable, strategic asset that attracts top talent, builds incredible customer loyalty, and drives financial performance. So I'll leave you with this question to think about for your own organization. Are you treating integrity like a cost you have to manage, or are you truly using it as your most powerful, most sustainable competitive advantage?